This year marks a decade since same sex marriage was legalized nationwide, but in several Republican led states, efforts are underway to ban pride flags from public schools and government buildings, sparking a wave of local resistance. Dima Zain has the story.
In Salt Lake City, a historic flag raising.
You are welcome here because in Salt Lake City, you belong.
The city adopted a new official flag called the Sago Belonging Flag, featuring LGBTQ colors underneath the city's sago flower.
What we're doing today is about the dignity and the worth of every single person in this community. No matter who they are, and no matter who they love.
The move coming just hours before a new law took effect in Utah, banning public schools and government buildings in the state from displaying any flags that aren't officially approved. Utah was the first state in the nation to ban pride flags from public buildings, but not the last. Idaho and Montana have adopted similar bans in recent weeks, and at least 8 other states with Republican-controlled legislatures are considering the idea.
Members who...
Orion Rumler covers LGBTQ issues and politics for the 19th News.
Republican lawmakers have framed these bans as a necessary way to make state houses and government buildings and schools, depending on the language of the ban, neutral places.
But some cities are pushing back, like in Boise, Idaho, where a pride flag has flown for several years outside City Hall.
We have a motion and a second, clerk.
Last month, the city council voted 5-1 to designate it as an official city flag, which they say will allow them to continue to fly it and not violate the new state law.
Removing the flag now, after years of flying it proudly, would not be a neutral act.
Boise Mayor Lauren McLean arguing,
We know that that's not just a flag. We know it says who we are.
Just 2 blocks away sits the Idaho State Capitol, where the legislature voted overwhelmingly to pass HB 96, a bill that bans, quote, governmental entities from displaying any flags other than the U.S. flag, state and local flags, the POW flag, or those from military branches and native tribes. Schools may also display their own banners. Idaho's Republican Attorney General warns Boise's mayor to take down the flag or face penalties when the state legislature comes back in session.
It's going to cost the community and the city money for violating the law, and she doesn't pay it out of her pocket. It's going to cost the citizens of Boise, and I think that's shameful.
In neighboring Montana sits the city of Missoula. Earlier this month, city leaders voted to adopt the pride flag as its only official city flag, despite a new Montana state law that prohibits flags on state property that, quote, represent a political viewpoint, including but not limited to flags or banners regarding a political party, race, sexual orientation, gender, or political ideology. The Republican governor of Montana, Greg Gianforte, called the move divisive, posting that Missoula City Council should be ashamed for imposing a pride flag on schools and dividing their community.
This is more than, Blue Dots rebuking the culture war policies of their Republican-controlled legislatures. Choosing to fly those flags as official city flags sends a message that the city wants to stand apart from the rest of the state as, a beacon of inclusivity.
A challenge that, for now, hangs in the air.
And now we are joined by Salt Lake City Mayor Erin Mendenhall. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to jump in first and ask your reaction when you heard about Utah's legislation bill banning all non-official flags at schools and governmental buildings.
Well, it didn't make a lot of sense as an urgent topic for our legislature to address, and yet they chose to do so. And we worked really hard to figure out how we could both abide by that law and continue to represent the values of Salt Lake City.
You adopted 3 other flags, amending them as official city flags, allowing you to fly them. Can you dig in a little deeper here and talk about what these flags symbolize to you and to your community?
They symbolize the values that have been here in Salt Lake City for generations: diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. They do not exclude. These are flags of inclusion. We've raised 2 of them in the month of June with the Juneteenth flag raising and pride. And we've heard from hundreds, even thousands of community members who've said, I see myself being represented in these flags. I feel seen and valued and wanted and understood. And that's what these flags are about.
Utah Governor Spencer Cox didn't sign the bill, but he also did not veto it, which allowed the law to go into effect. He was asked about Salt Lake City's pride flags, and here's what he had to say.
I'm sure they feel great that they got around this dumb law, and they did it with dumb flags.
What do you think should be done?
The whole thing's dumb.
What do you think should be done?
Well, I already said what I thought should be done. We should raise the American flag, and let's unify around that.
They are dumb flags, and it was a dumb bill. What's your response to the governor?
It's fine if he wants to say that about the decision that I made to bring these flags forward for approval with our city council. That's my role as the mayor. I take that responsibility, but I don't think it's the right way to address community members who feel validated, seen, heard, and wanted in their community because they see these flags flying.
Have you felt or have you had a sense, bigger sense of the state seeking more control over your city's ability to function?
I think that's a pretty consistent dynamic, especially in a blue dot capital city in a red state with a supermajority Republican legislature. That's not a new experience for us, but it's something that we're constantly navigating. My administration has a pretty good relationship with state leaders. We talk to each other even when we disagree. And I think we're going to be able to keep talking through this. I don't think this is the end of what we'll see from the legislature regarding the flags, but neither is it the end of our ability to represent our values, and we'll keep finding ways to do so.
Could the ban have an economic repercussions for your city or state? And are you worried that your city will suffer from this?
You know, Salt Lake City is an inclusive, loving, welcoming, proud city. We're proud of our diversity. United communities are not afraid of our diversity. We celebrate it, we recognize our differences, and we recognize that those differences make us stronger. I think asking for sameness across the board is probably the biggest threat to our economic potential as a state. And Salt Lake City's willingness to display our values in cloth through the adoption of these official flags has had waves of response from other cities across the world that have reached out and said, thank you for standing up like this.
Do you think other cities around the country should take your lead on this? And if so, what advice do you have for them?
My advice to other cities is to represent your communities and stand by your values. When we're in the minority, sometimes we have to compromise on our vision to some extent, but we should not compromise on our values. Salt Lake City is proud to have been able to find a way to keep our values at the forefront, literally be able to hang them on a flagpole. That might have to change in the future, but we're up for that. So keep representing your community and your community's values, and I think we'll find our way through this.
Salt Lake City Mayor Erin Mendenhall, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.